Hey everyone, it's Rob the Backyard Gardener, and it is winding down for the season. I'm not throwing in the towel just yet, but I'm getting a roof put on this week, and the roofing company said that I will need to chop down a lot of my plants or risk them getting damaged in just the process of putting the new roof on. The roof is because of the hailstorm we had about 4 or 5 months ago, and I'm finally getting around to putting a new roof on, but better late than never. Let me show you some of the chopping I've done, and then I'll take you guys on just a little tour on what's still growing on in the garden. So you can see we do not have any more crazy grapevines. I've actually cut them to a little bit longer length than I probably wanted to, but this is a little early in the season. Typically you don't want to cut the grapevines until they're completely dormant. They just about were completely dormant anyway, but ideally another 30 to 45 days would have been better. So I wanted to leave enough length on them in case the ends die here so that I can cut them back to where I would want them. Really, I need to get a better post system, which I will do with some cable and some better T-posts, but not right now, not while they're going to be working in the yard. I've done that for all three of them. This was the new addition this year. And again, you can see it wasn't fully ready to go yet, but we'll get these figured out as far as where they're at. I wanted to show you kind of a discouraging little thing here. You'll recall that I had some watermelons and the vines are pretty much dead, but we had mice enjoying that one. You can even see the little pieces down below there. So that's pretty much a goner. Then I checked on my other setting one, and they ate half of that one. So that's pretty much a goner. When we had the frost, it pretty much killed the vine. No one ate this little guy, but he stopped growing. So I'm thinking he ain't gonna do much, but we'll leave him there for fun. And the big one, I say big one, he was growing well, and then the frost hit and he stopped growing. But he's got some weight to him. We'll let him finish ripening. Hopefully they don't get to this one. I'm probably going to have to sleeve him, keep the mice away. But yeah, that's what we got there. It's coming to an end on the peppers. You can see the plants starting to succumb to the cooler weather. But we still have quite a bit of jalapenos on this plant. This is the crazy Fresno pepper. There's actually 3 Fresno pepper plants in there, and there's a lot of Fresno peppers all over it. But yeah, we got Fresno peppers in here. I just haven't, there's no red ones yet. We'll get those later. But anyway, I wanted to show you that. And then you can see clearly in my cool weather crops, we've got some serious broccoli and cauliflower action going on. I harvested about 70 purple and green beans yesterday. That's why you don't see any on there right now. Blackberry, thornless and thorn varieties. And I think what I'm going to do is I top this here, and I may try to propagate the branches from yesterday. They're sitting in water right now, but I also may try to propagate that branch and that branch. They're going to die down anyway. Why not try to propagate them and see what we get? Still getting a few tomatoes in here. Kind of an odd shaped San Marzano. It got squeezed in the middle, but it's getting big. Got another one. I don't know if you could see that right there. And then there's other San Marzanos on this tomato bush, if you will. And I really don't know how many of these will really ripen. I did want to show you that it took a lot of months, but we got a loofah gourd right here set. I don't think he's gonna get too big before the frost hits, but it's still pretty cool. We'll let him do his thing. Still working on some serranos and some basil over here. So as you can see, not a lot going on in the garden as far as harvestable stuff. Peppers are still doing okay. I had to cut down, like I said, for the roofers, a whole bunch of my tomatoes on this side of the yard. Let me go ahead and flip this around and show you what I'm talking about. So I've removed all the tomatoes back there, and we still have some of the hot peppers growing. Got a nice reaper right here. Hoping for it to mature. We've got some of the Brazilian ghosts right here. It's actually a good thing that I chopped down the tomatoes because these are really unhealthy pepper plants due to the fact they weren't getting a lot of sun from just the overcast of the tomato leaves. But they look cool. And we even got a couple of chocolate scotch bonnets that are starting to ripen up pretty good. Another one down there. Got some big gems that are still coming in late season. As you know, anything that was low is a goner. Still waiting for these peach ghost, chocolate ghost crosses to come to full effect. But they're beautiful looking peppers. Any shishito peppers that I get are pulled off immediately. I harvested a bunch of my orange habaneros yesterday. So I've been pulling these off. These aren't fully ripened yet, but again, if I leave them on the plant, the mice will get to them. So the next project is I have to decide what I'm gonna do with all these. If the roofers see them, they're gonna say they have no responsibility, whatever breaks, which is probably fine. I've got a lot of serrano peppers to pull off these guys this weekend. I mean, the more you pull, the more that's set. But I want them to go as long as possible, get as many serranos off them. I've got a ton. Anyway, just wanted to show them to you guys. They're doing pretty good. And then we've got a few more peppers down here. It's pretty sad. I had some huge tomatoes on this tomato bush, and now everything's kind of small. But the mice ate the heck, and they ate them right there. They ate the heck out of the tomatoes. Matter of fact, here's an edge of one. They were huge, guys. They ate them, so that stinks. The yellow pear tomatoes are coming in. I don't think they're gonna mature in time. There's literally hundreds on here, but the most mature ones are right here, and they'll turn orange this week. But there's literally hundreds of all sizes on this, and I'm fairly certain that I will not get hundreds to ripen. As you can see, it's absolute pandemonium. And so since there's that many, they're literally everywhere, guys. I'm thinking about growing these next year. I can't believe how well they've set fruit for such a late season. I mean, unbelievable. So that's probably what I'm growing next year, in addition to the regular standard ones that I do grow. If you watched my garlic planting video, it's been kind of warmer than usual the last few days though, and we got a couple of them coming up. I'm not worried about them. They'll get dormant here once the frozen tundra sets in. So that's pretty much it, everyone. I don't want to give you a full tour just yet. I mean, I don't want to bore you with lack of production here in the late fall, early winter, but I'm still gardening. I've got a lot of things to do to prepare my beds for the winter. I got to clean my tools. I've got to empty out my composts, things like that. But wanted to hear what you're doing in the off season. Are you planting any cover crops? Are you adding any new beds for next year? Are you laying any straw or hay down on your top of your soil to keep everything bustling for the spring? Well, I hope you enjoyed the little walk around, talk around video, guys. I know not a lot's going on right now, but I wanted to keep you updated on the garden here and the progress. We do have other videos, other series to update you on here in the next week, which I plan on doing. But I do appreciate you sticking with me on this episode. Have a great week, everyone. And as always, thanks for watching.